Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk. My name is James, and I started this show a few weeks ago talking about the murder of Samantha Woll. And I will continue to do this every weekday to help keep her story in the media. Um, excuse me, I need to turn that down. My apologies. I'm just learning this new computer that I received. So, yeah, a little bit about me. I've had many years in criminal investigations and legal research, and it gives me a unique insight on cases. Now, the summary of this case is Samantha Woll was a 40-year-old single woman from Detroit. Uh, she was brutally stabbed to death at her residence in the 1300 block of Juliet Place in Lafayette Park area of Detroit. Now, a neighbor had called on Saturday morning at 6:30 on October 21st, reported a body laying on the sidewalk. Police arrived and, yes, determined the woman was stabbed to death and had been dead for quite some time, as the police quoted unquote said. And also, they determined it was multiple stab wounds, and a trail of blood led from the location of the body to the inside of her residence. And they have determined that the murder took place, or the stabbing took place inside the residence. The woman, Miss Wool, then stumbled outside and fell to the ground where she was found. And there was no sign of forced entry in her residence, and there was no defensive wounds on the victim. The police immediately ruled out a hate crime motive, and some people have been in an uproar saying that, oh, well, just because it was a flag and it wasn't ripped or anything like that doesn't mean it wasn't a hate crime. Well, they also have evidence that they've not been releasing that probably leads them in a more direct motive. So that is possibly why. It sounds like it was a domestic type of motive. Even though, Samantha Wool was the board president of the Downtown Synagogue of Detroit and was very politically active. She helped many Democratic and uh, officials become reelected uh, for her work on their reelection campaigns. Now, a suspect was arrested on November 8th, and then they had to release him on the 10th without being charged. That is the state law in Michigan. If a person is arrested, the authorities have 72 hours to either charge you with a crime or release you. And they did release the person, and they did not name the suspect. Crime Stoppers has issued a $15,000 reward for tips leading to an arrest. You can see the bar that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. You can remain anonymous. Now, it again, it is the detectives seem to be following a domestic violence type motive. What the notes or the information that we have is that her cell phone and wallet were present on her, so it wasn't a robbery. Uh, Also inside, if it was a robbery, they would have gone to that conclusion with the ransacking of the house, but it sounds like that's not the case. Again, there's no forced entry. The police say the murder took place inside the residence. So the person was in the residence already, uh, either laying in wait or she may have picked somebody up on the way home. The other thing is with her cell phone, they probably could ping her route home and see if she went directly home or made a stop on the way and picked somebody up. Whichever scenario leads me to think that a person is that this person, the suspect, is a person close to her. The method of the murder, the multiple stab wounds, no defensive wounds, indicating she trusted the person enough to not have her guard up. So, yes, it is a lot of information is not being released. Also, the knife, the murder weapon, has not been talked about. Uh, they don't say if they have a murder weapon, if they found one or not. They're not. The police are not speaking about that. Now, there was many eulogies by congressmen and senators and even the mayor of Detroit eulogizing Samantha Wool online, but nothing is being done, or at least we don't see anything. And the updates that the police chief is giving is nothing. So it's continuing the investigation. That's it, and they're not releasing anything else. So we don't know if they are uh, have leads and they are following them and building a case against the person, or they have no idea what they're doing. Um, I saw a podcast yesterday in regards to the murder of Dr. Fortin, and it had the Cincinnati police chief, I believe, was on there. I guess he used to be a chief of Detroit or something like that. And I guess he took over Detroit when it was a 15% solve rate with homicides, and that's just disgusting. So, yes, that is about Samantha Wolf. Now, I am going to add other things to the show, uh, other headlines that are going on in the world. Um, Two big things. Kevin McCarthy, the previous Speaker of the House, he is announced that he will be leaving Congress by the end of this year. Thank goodness. He was my representative when I lived in California, and he was a terrible person. I didn't vote for him, and thank goodness he's leaving. The other thing is there was another mass shooting, this time at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the UNLV campus. Uh, it's just happened shortly, a few hours ago, so information is slim, but it is reported that 3 victims were reported shot, and that the suspect is dead. That's all we know at this time. Other type of news in Michigan, a loaded handgun brought to school by a Grand Rapids student was reported stolen. So, and marijuana dependence is increasing among VA patients, particularly those with psychiatric conditions. That's because it's helping. So, and also, cryptocurrencies are going up. So, I still have a couple of coins left in a wallet. So, it has been increasing, and it's nice to see. That is information or the news of the day. Please keep Samantha Wool uh, in your comments and share this out with others so it is not forgotten about. And yes, so until tomorrow night, have a good evening. Good night.